Welcome to my channel. I'm KateSemeniuk and I'm happy today to present you one of the very core unconscious belief that people have, and that comes in many of my sessions, right? Especially when we work with confidence, when we work with money blocks, self-sabotage, right? Procrastination. What else? Self-esteem, self-belief, phobias and fears, right? Many times this unconscious belief comes up. I don't deserve happiness. How many of you saw that, oh, like being happy is just not for me? People who are depressed, people who have challenges, people who are in toxic relationship, right? Many times they feel like, okay, I just don't deserve it. I'm so bad. There's something wrong with me. I'm bad, so I don't have it. It's not for me, right? So it's the core belief. However, there is the underlying beliefs, right? And we're going to talk about them, those deepest beliefs. And I really hope that resonates with you, because it resonates with me for sure, right? Like I wrote it down because I found it in many sessions and I found it in myself, right? So almost everything I tell you, I experienced on my own skin. I experienced it in my life. That's why it's so much, it resonates with me, and I know it resonates with my clients, and I'm sure it will resonate with you. So 5 underlying beliefs. Number 1, when you were a child, you formed the belief when your parents told you, when you were like, too excited or played the whole day, right? And then your mom or dad or caregiver tells you, you had too much fun today, stop it, that's enough. When they say that once, you might not even notice, right? However, if your caregivers or your parents are telling you that many times, for years, for months, you start to believe that, oh, having too much fun, having too much time to myself is not good. It's too much, right? So the same happens in your life when you grow up. Every time you feel like you have too much fun or success, right? Like you build success and there is a roadblock. There is a block. I don't deserve to go further. I don't deserve to go further, because that belief replays in your mind. That believes like, oh, too much fun is dangerous. It's not allowed, right? It's not good for you, because we start to believe what our parents, project on us. So number 2, underlying belief. When you had to look after your siblings, you were growing up, your mom had another baby, or, your mom remarried and had another child from another family with another guy, right? Or, the parents separated, right? And then in any situation, you had to look after your siblings, after your younger siblings. Either it's one or many, doesn't matter. But you didn't want to do that. So when you do look after your siblings so much, it's not bad. It's absolutely not bad. However, as parents, we need to be very careful how our child perceives that. If we really care about how our child grows and what's going to happen in their life, right? We need to be very careful when making them look after our siblings, right? After our younger children. When they don't want to do that, but we make them do that, manipulate them, threaten them, I know, because I made that mistake. I allow myself to make that mistake because I'm in an acceptance mode, right? But it did affect my daughter a lot. So, and I don't do that now at all, only if she wants to. Like, she has to plead me to look after my younger son, because I would never do that again, right? Would never make her sit with my son, with her younger brother, because I know how that affected her earlier in life. So when you sit with the siblings and you start to form the belief someone else is more important than me. If you didn't want to look after your siblings when you were a child, you might have formed the belief. I'm not saying that you did. I say, like, look at what resonates with you. But you might have formed the belief that someone is more important than me. I don't deserve my time. I don't deserve fun. I don't deserve playtime. I don't deserve going out with friends, outside, going for a walk on the playground. No, I don't. I have to stay and look after my siblings. And sometimes we don't have a choice. Sometimes we grow up in the abusive homes, addicted, like people who are parents who are addicted, right? With emotional, physical, sexual abuse, emotional neglect, right? We sometimes don't have a choice, and we form that belief that, oh, I'm not important. So if I'm not important, why would I be happy? I don't deserve happiness, right? Underlying belief number 3, being happy is scary. Being too happy is scary. Because what if something happens? It can cut and crush me down so fast. So I cannot be too happy. I cannot be too joyful. I cannot, enjoy my time. So that's what happens when people, as I said, people reach success, or they start to jump into the amazing loving relationship, and they just sabotage those relationships because they believe they don't deserve those relationships, right? And it also comes from early childhood, right? Emotional neglect, not feeling loved, not feeling like you're worthy of love. So working on those underlying beliefs will help you absolutely feel more accepting of happiness. The fourth belief, life is not fair, just deal with it. That's very often I hear my clients say when we go into hypnosis, I hear that statement all the time. When my dad told me, yeah, life is not fair. You're bullied, that's fine, deal with it. Ignore it, right? And you feel like, oh, okay, life is not fair. If life is not fair, then someone can have happiness, but not me, because life is not fair. And if life is not fair, why would I believe in a good thing? I'll just kind of deal with, just shut down, and so that's the belief that we should really look and resolve. Where is it coming from? Where was the first time you started to believe? And there are lots of techniques that you can do that, and you can ask for help, right? Or you can do these guided meditations. I'm sure there are some out there on the internet that will guide you into to regress yourself, to think about your past, right? And where did you form that belief that life is not fair? I have to just deal with it. Another belief that people have that feel like they cannot accept happiness, they don't feel that they deserved happiness, is I didn't have a good childhood. So if I didn't have a good childhood, I don't deserve to have a happy adulthood, a happy life. That is so not true, and you know that. You know deep inside that is not true. There are people who had horrible, horrific childhood, and they made a beautiful life in their adulthood. So if you have that belief, work on that belief. Where did you form that? Who told you that? Who told you? A doctor, maybe. Maybe your therapist told you. Well, you had that childhood. Was that childhood? It's very obvious you have all of these problems. You'll have to deal with them for the whole life to cope with them. Right? So if you made that belief, please, please, please unlearn it. You can unlearn beliefs, change them, shift them, transform them, call it however you want, but you can do it. And another sign, another underline is your happiness, your understanding of happiness is very distorted. Now that could be your belief that happiness is something that someone has to bring us. Someone has to make us happy. Like if I go into the relationship, if I find a partner, I'm going to be happy. If I have this car, I'm going to be happy. If I do this job, I'm going to be happy. If I have another child, I'm going to be happy. That child is going to make me happy. That another child will make our marriage happy, right? So you believe your understanding of happiness is very distorted. You feel like it's coming from the outside, when in reality it's coming from the inside. You make yourself happy first, right? And from that, all the changes in layers are happening, right? So think about all of these 6 underlying beliefs. And if there is something that resonates, change that belief. I always do that in hypnosis. We look at the past, we transform the beliefs, and the people start to look at their life differently. They change the perspective of the whole life, and they change the perspective of the past as well. So if you need my help, my contact information is down below. Otherwise, I wish you all the best. See you in the next video.